Hi, I'm Lincoln Dammers of Board Game Geek, and you are watching No Enemies Here Wargaming News.
Joke. Take it easy. It's because I had Lincoln on BGG, you know what I'm saying? High-flying dice games and Desert Carnage, the Second Battle of Nanawa, July 1933. A game designed by Perry Moore and the graphics are by Ilya Kudryashov. Desert Carnage, the Second Battle of Nanawa, July 1933, covers the three-day battle between Bolivia and Paraguay during the Long Chaco War. Avalanche Press, Panzer Grenadier, Conquest of Ethiopia. The game is designed by Lorenzo Striuli and Ottavio Ricci. The game includes 8 map boards, 517 playing pieces, and 40 scenarios. Strategy and Tactics Quarterly Number 7, The Crusades. White Dog Games and Nubia, Egypt's Black Heirs. This is a game of medieval conflict in the Nile Valley, 1172 to 1504 AD, a solitaire board war game by Ben Madison. What you get with this game is one 11 by 17 inch map, a player aid, 88 game counters, 27 event cards, and one 12-page rule booklet. GMT, and in their Great Battles of the American Civil War series, Death Valley, Battles for the Shenandoah. The series designer is Richard Berg and the game designer is Greg Laubach. Ancient Civilizations of the Inner Sea, a game designed by Christopher Vorder Bruges and Mark McLaughlin. Tiny Battle Publishing and Donetsk, Battle for the Airport. Donetsk is a squad-level tactical game that simulates the battle for Donetsk Airport in the Ukraine 2014 to 2015. And what you got with this game are 88 die-cut counters, 11 by 17 inch map, player aid cards, rule book, and a bag to bag it in. This is a game designed by Ryan Kirk. The art is by Ilya Kudryashov. Hallenspiele and the Siege of Ismail. This is a game designed and the artwork is by Ilya Kudryashov. The duration is 120 minutes. It's a 2-player game. Solitaire suitability is high. And what you get with this game is a 22 by 17 inch map sheet, 176 counters, an 8-page rulebook, and one 6-sided die. Avalanche Press, Second World War at Sea, Eastern Fleet 2nd Edition. This is a 2-player game. The scale are 36 miles sea zone. Playing pieces 100 oversized long pieces, 180 half-inch square pieces. The playing board, one 28 by 22 inch operational map and one 17 by 22 inch tactical map. 32 pages of rules, 30 scenarios, difficulty level 2 out of 5, solitaire, play fair. Time to play 30 minutes to many hours. Panzer Grenadier, La Campagne de Tunisie. A game designed by Philippe Léonard. Campagne de Tunisie is a supplement for Panzer Grenadier, An Army at Dawn. And it tells a story of a series of 12 Panzer Grenadier scenarios as the French fight the Americans, the Germans, the British, and the Italians. Conquest of Ethiopia, another Panzer Grenadier, the Italian invasion 1935-1936. This is a game designed by Lorenzo Striuli and Ottavio Ricci. The game includes 8 semi-rigid map boards, 517 playing pieces, and 40 scenarios. ESL, and I hope I'm going to pronounce this right, so Stigler, let me know. Triarchs, Trireme Warfare in the 5th century BC. Triarchs is a modern take on ancient tactical naval warfare during the 5th century with a special focus on and surrounding the Peloponnesian War. Designed by Ray Weiss and developed by Matt Ward. Clash of Arms and Wings of the Motherland. The Air War over Russia 1941 to 1945. And what you get with this game are 280 aircraft counters, 280 ground unit counters, 70 ship and play aid counters, 2 game maps 34 by 22 inches, a rule book, a scenario book, and 1 play aids booklet. Compass Games. Brief Border Wars. This is a quadri game or a set of 4 mini-games on short border conflicts of the 20th and 21st century. The 4 conflicts include El Salvador versus Honduras 1969, the Turkish invasion of Cyprus 1974, China versus Vietnam 1979, and Israel versus Hezbollah in southern Lebanon 2006. This is a game designed by, or these are games designed by Brian Train. Complexity 4 out of 10, solitaire suitability 5 out of 10, time scale variable days to weeks per turn, map scale variable area movement maps, unit scales variable battalion to division. This is a 1 to 2 player game, plays in 1 to 2 hours. And what you get with this game are 4 maps at 17 by 22 inches, a counter sheet of 176 counters, 4 player aid cards, a set of 54 cards, a rulebook, 2 6-sided dice, and a box and a lid. GMT and Volko Runke's Nevsky, Teutons, and Russian Collision 1240 to 1242. This is a Levy and Campaign Series Volume 1. And what you get with this game is a 17 by 22 inch mounted game board map, 14 wooden Lord cylinders, 12 5x5 cardboard Lord mats, 56 wooden wedges, 66 wooden bars, 3 sheets of markers, 4 decks of 21 each Russian and Teutonic Arts of War and Command cards, and a lot more stuff. Time scale is 40 days per turn. The map scale point to point, 2 to 300 miles across. The unit scale 50 to 100 horses or 100 to 200 foot. Number of players 1 to 2. Complexity medium, solitaire suitability medium high. Use this code and get 25% off DVG's website. Come on, what's the matter with you? Jeff McAleer of the Gaming Gang is at Gen Con and he visits a few companies, amongst those Columbia Games, Talasaurian Games, Stronghold Games. Alexander of the Player's Aid is at WBC and interviewing Pontiac's Uprising with John Paniski and also Tom Russell from Hollenspiele. The Player's Aid also give you an initial review from GMT's Gandhi at WBC. Grant sits down at WBC with Dave Shaw and Ryan Heilman of Brave Little Belgium fame and discuss their new game, White Eagle Defiant. Alexander and Grant also debrief Gen Con 2019. Jan Heinemann of Let's Play History takes on Fields of Fire Volume 2, The Fate of Easy in the Treviere Offensive. This is 1 of 4 playthrough.
Howdy folks, Jeff McAleer once again from thegaminggang.com, and I also happen to be the host of The Daily Dope, which airs live Mondays through Friday at 7 p.m. Central on YouTube. And Dan was kind enough to ask me to share another video of what I've got cooking on The Daily Dope next week. So first off, on Monday, I will be unboxing and taking a first look at Roll for Adventure. I know, I'm just adding a little more dramatics into it. But this is a brand new fantasy dice rolling game, dice chucking game. This was a Gen Con release for Cosmos. This is brand spanking new, and it is out in stores as well. I believe the release date for stores was August 1st also. Then, on Tuesday's show, I will be unboxing and taking a first look at Run, Fight, or Die Reloaded from Gray Fox Games. This was also a Gen Con release. I do not believe this is going to be in stores just yet. I think it has a September retail date. Not positive though. Then on Wednesday, I will be reviewing on Wargame Wednesday the War of the Worlds, the East Coast, I should say, edition from Dan Verson Games. This is a solitaire game. It is jam-packed with Martian versus Earthlings goodness. So I will be reviewing this on Wednesday's show. Then on Thursday, we are going to dive in, and I am going to page through and take a peek at, yes, Delta Green, the newest edition of Delta Green. We're going to look at the Agent's Handbook as well as the Handler's Guide, which come in this really sweet slipcase. So Thursdays, I like to talk about RPGs and look at RPGs. We'll be checking out Delta Green. Then on Friday, I have another Cosmos release we'll take a peek at. This one looks pretty interesting. It is Tribes, Dawn of Humanity. So this is for 2 to 4 players, just as Roll for Adventure was. And each player is going to take on a prehistoric tribe. So it looks kind of interesting. And I do understand one of the ways for you to score victory points is to procreate. So that's what's cooking on the episodes of the Daily Dope next week on YouTube. And of course, when you're not checking out videos on the Gaming Gang channel on YouTube, swing over and check out thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. Come on, by now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. And once again, back to Dan.
STUKAJOE has a video out telling us what's next up on his channel, plus another creation for a game. And the guys at Little Wars TV are reenacting the whole of Operation Overlord, an epic D-Day war game. Hexes and Soldiers, conflict simulation news, views, and reviews. AJ Toynbee plays Grant Takes Command. Also unboxes, as he calls it, deboxing of Eric Lee Smith's Battle Hymn. Clark Commando 1983 shows us how to play GMT's game A World at War, how to play, research, and production. BLASTPOP examines the Nemo's War expansion pack number 1. He also takes a look at GMT's SPQR Roman Warfare. BLASTPOP also takes a look at an old strategy and tactics magazine game by Richard Berg, The Desert Fox. Rommel's campaign for North Africa, April 1941 to December 1942. MARCOWARGAMER is at Gen Con and he takes a look at Hearts of Iron's board game by Eagle Griffin. GIMPY of the GIMPY Gamers checking out Warhammer Underworld's playthrough Part 1. GIMPY is also playthroughing a game called Speed Freaks. GIMPY also continues his magnum opus of World at War 85 Boot Camp, numbers 4 and 5, including Movement Basics and Amphibious. GIMPY also does a playthrough of Warfighters Zombie, Part 1. Rough Swordsman Wargamer in his order number 227. Are you new to wargaming? Try Pavlov's House by DVG Parts 1 and 2. And a man famously known as Calandale, Enrico Viglino, continues his Vietnam playthrough, The Setup, and Vietnam 65 Summer. Tim Korchnoi of Bare Bones Wargaming is checking out A Pragmatic War, The War of the Austrian Secession, a game published by Compass Games. Hex 2 Red 1 Alpha is unboxing Less Than 60 Miles.
Hey
guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of war game review institutions. This week on our website we will not be doing a review, but instead I'll be doing an article entitled The Top 10 Requests I Have for Game Designers and Developers. Essentially over the years I've seen some things in games that I've really liked and I'd like to see again, so it's a listing of those. I'm pretty sure when you read it you'll agree with quite a few of them, and you might even have some suggestions of your own. The first game we'll be doing a first look at on our YouTube channel this week is Trajan, the Roman Campaign in the East. It's a Joe Miranda game from Strategy and Tactics. It looks really interesting, and it's about the Roman campaign versus the Parthians. I think I'll have a lot of fun when I try it out. The next game we'll be doing a first look at on our YouTube channel is actually two games, the Battle of Buena Vista and Moscow Burning. They're both from Command Magazine, and they both seem to have really simple rules. The Buena Vista game looks like it's a Mexican-American war game, whereas Moscow Burning is a Russian Civil War game that's supposed to take place during the 1990s, so it looks really interesting. Hope to see you guys soon on our YouTube channel and on our website. Have a good evening.
A game for gamers, made by gamers, by Flying Pig Games.
What I photographed here was basically 2 rooms. It didn't dawn on me to photograph the other 5 or 6 rooms. That's how massive this thing was. And you know what? I had a blast. Avalon Digital and Blocks, Richard III, Block Wargaming on your PC and Mac. Richard III is a computer adaptation of the epic 2-player war game from Columbia Games that recreates the 15th century bloody dynastic struggle between the royal houses of Lancaster and York for the throne of England. They also have a demo that you can play. Check them out. Worthington Publishing, Stalingrad Besieged. This is a game designed by Dr. Lou Pulsifer. Stalingrad Besieged is a game that allows 1 to 2 players to refight the campaign for Stalingrad in 1942 in 3 different ways: cards, blocks, or counters. The game plays in less than an hour. And what you get with this game is a mounted game board, a deck of option cards, a full set of Russian unit large wooden blocks with labels, Russian unit cards, Russian unit oversized counters, German unit large wooden blocks with labels, and you know the drill, plus status cubes, dice, 2-player aids, and a rule book. Academy Games and One Small Step lead the US and Soviet space agencies in their epic race to the moon in this engine-building, worker placement Eurogame. But Uwe, I spoke to Uwe, and he tells me that there are war game elements. It's the Cold War, man. You know what I'm saying? The Twilight Struggle, you know what I'm trying to say? Okay, so he guarantees me that if one side is losing, that you pick up the miniature satellites that are going to be there and you throw it at the other guy's head. Can't get more war game than that. And what you get with this game is a lot of stuff. I suggest you go on the Kickstarter website and check it out. And you're going to see something that resembles meeples. They're not meeples. Uwe guaranteed me that they're not meeples. They're astronomicals. Astronomicals. That's what he said. Matt White's Until the Bitter End, U.S. Airborne. This is a print and play Kickstarter. It's a second World War II solitaire and two-player game that Matt does print and play. The game sets a small squad of American airborne against a German enemy in a series of small skirmish scenarios. Can anybody say narrative? The game comes with 10 US airborne infantry and 10 German infantry counters, 2 maps, and a full rulebook. Scenario book, plus all the stretch goals in this project. Compass Games, and once we moved like the wind. With this game is one mounted map, 22 by 23 inches, a color rulebook, a sheet of stickers, 80 wooden blocks, 4-player mats, 2 6-sided dice, and one Compass Games is famous for a box and a lid. Complexity 3 out of 10, solitaire shootability 5 out of 10, the time scales 3 to 4 years per turn, the map scale area covering parts of Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Sonora, and Chihuahua. This is a 2-player game, plays in about 1 to 2 hours. Phalanx Games, and in the soon-to-be kickstarted Successors, a game by Richard Berg and Mark Simonich. Hollenspiel's The Mary and Tom Show, episode 84, where Tom and Mary talk about Tom's stay at World Board Gaming Championship. Buckeye Game Fest, the friendliest board game convention in Ohio. The Buckeye Game Fest 2019 will be held September 5th through the 8th at the Hyatt Regency at 350 North High Street in downtown Columbus. Pacificon 41 Game Expo, August 30th to September 2nd, 2019 at the Santa Clara Marriott Hotel. The San Diego Historical Game Convention, November 8th, 9th, and 10th, 2019 at the Handerly Hotel, 950 Hotel Circle North, San Diego, California. Board Game Geek, BGG, Fall, 20 to 24th of November, 2019 at the Hyatt Regency Airport in Dallas, Texas. Another week, another show. Thank you very much for watching. I'll have more interviews as the weeks go on, and I'll put them on periodically, I don't know, Tuesday or a Wednesday type thing like that. Please support the channel, subscribe, like, and I'll see you next week.